Hi guys, it's Kelly Ladable here, and I'm back with another video. Today, this video is part of the Altenew December 2018 release blog hop, and we are celebrating these new artist markers. So this is set E from Altenew. They changed their packaging a little bit. So this one has all the colors listed on the left-hand side, which I really kind of love. And then the stamps that I'm using is called Smile More. This one is a little bit older, but I thought the colors went nicely with the kind of flowers that were in this set. So I'm stamping in the, I'm still don't know how to say it, Amalgam, I don't know, you know what I'm saying, the Gina K ink. I'm still liking it. So you can see that my stem is kind of hanging out of the bottom, which means my Misty isn't closing the entire way, but it's fine because I don't actually want the stems to go all the way to the bottom, and I was too lazy to get my big Misty out. That's pretty much just what happened here. This is a very simple card, because sometimes that's just what you need to make. Like sometimes that's just the spot that you're in. So I'm stamping these in the background. I love one layer cards, but I don't always love the masking. I just wasn't feeling it. There's a story to that, which we'll get to. But so these, I'm just going to stamp these ones in the background, and then I'm not even worried about masking them. I'm just kind of stamping them down. And this stem gave me so much trouble. It kept sticking to my finger, which is great because they're good quality stamps, which means they're, sticky when you take them out there. So they'll stick to your block really well. But I couldn't get it to lay down correctly. I had to bring in enforcements and use my scissor to do it because it wouldn't stop sticking to my finger. I couldn't make it stop. But so the branch that you see that's kind of like off and to the left, in the stamp set, there's a bunch of different flowers and a bunch of different leaves. And so I thought that I would use that to create kind of like a branch in the background, just something a little bit different. So it wasn't just, three simple flowers with a couple of large leaves. But we're totally making this so simple, guys. Here's why. So I'm very blessed to work with a lot of different companies, a lot of different people, and that means I usually have a lot on my plate that's coming up. Side note, I'm going to be old school, so I don't have to take the stuff out of my Misty, and I'm just going to stamp it with an acrylic block. I forgot. It feels weird to me now to stamp with an acrylic block because I'm so used to using my Misty. It feels very strange. But anywho, we're going to do a very light Distress Oxide background. I just wanted to give it some color behind it. And I picked Crushed Olive and Ripe Persimmon. There's kind of a method to my madness. I'm going right over these. I told you I'm not masking. I just wasn't feeling it. So I'm going over them, putting these down, just a very light layer. So you can see I'm blotting off on my Ranger craft mat before I bring it to the paper. I'm kind of like pouncing it a few times and turning it to get some of the excess ink off so I don't get those weird round circles. But I picked the colors. I picked this green in particular because it is more yellow based. And so I knew that it would blend into my orange nicely. So when you're doing something like this, you want to pay attention to that. Like if I had used peacock feathers, which is more blue based, when it met the orange, there would be more of a chance that it would create brown. And I don't really love the whole idea of brown being in the background. I am going to spatter on some gold perfect pearls, which I gotta tell you, this stuff drives me batty because I love it. And in real life, it looks amazing. It's got like orange and green and all these gold speckles all over it. In the video and in the still photos, it's like impossible to see. I have no idea how to get a better picture of that. I've tried different angles. It just doesn't, I don't know. I can't get it to show up, guys. Anywho, back to this. Coloring. So this is the orange that comes in this set E. They have 4 different oranges, 4 different greens, and then toner grays. So definitely wanted to get my hands on those because for the artist markers that I have, there's only warm grays. And you guys know I'm not partial to warm, so toner suits me much better. So I was excited to get my paws on that. I'm doing the same thing that I always do, lightest to darkest, then darkest to lightest. I'm leaving my highlight along the middle center of my petals to help give it a more round appearance. But everything pretty much status quo as I would normally do. Okay, back to this too much on my plate. So I have a bunch of things on my plate, which is normal. I mean, that's just kind of where I've unpacked and lived. There's a lot of things going on, and I am very grateful for a lot of the opportunities that I have, even though it makes me a little bit crazy. So I thought that today, a different project was due. So I sat down after work to make my card, and I did make it. It's watercolor. And for me, I don't know about you guys, Copics are faster, or artist markers, alcohol markers, markers period, are faster for me than any other medium because I use it all the time. So it's faster than watercolor, it's faster than colored pencils. And I don't have to concentrate as hard because I've been doing it a lot longer, the whole practice thing. So I did a watercolor card and it took it took forever to do. And I was really happy with the way it came out, and I was just gearing up to put my sentiment on. And I was checking to see what time the blog hop started. And then I really read it, and I realized that it was not for watercolors. It was not for that card. It wasn't the product that I was using was not the one I should have been using. I should have been using the artist markers. That was my bad. So I finished out that card because I'd already invested in it, right? So you'll see that video another time. But I had to switch to making another card. And my little peanut butter comes to me at 6:30 in the morning on the nights that he spends the night with his dad. So I was busting this thing out at somewhere around, 3 a.m. because I had to make 2 cards. This is my own fault. But nonetheless, so I kept it fairly simple. And I know that I don't typically make simple cards because I like the whole scenes and building them up and a lot of detail and everything. But sometimes it is nice to just be able to sit down, do something that's pretty quick. And so that's how I decided with the layout what I was going to do. I wanted something super fast. I stole 2 of the brown markers out of the B set, the artist marker set B. Speaking of the artist markers, if you're watching this the day that it goes live, so from December 6th of 18 to December, I'm pretty sure it's the 8th, Altenew's got tons of deals on these markers. And one of them, if you purchase either the E set, they also came out with a new set that's called the primary color, which I did not get, but I'm hoping to save my little pennies to be able to purchase one day, because I really like that whole idea. Especially if you're a person who doesn't do a ton of shading, if you're just you like simple coloring, that's a great set to get because it's got one of everything. For me, I will use it to incorporate other colors into the color schemes that I already have. So I colored all the things all the same way, including the ones on the panel. I just colored right over the Distress Oxides. I've never had any issues with that, with my markers or anything. And that's one of the reasons why I didn't mask, because I was putting, like tone on tone. And I didn't have to worry about them not blending or being funny or weird. And then this one, to add some added interest, because the layout is so simple, I'm just going to, I'm going to pop these up. I'm going to trim them out and pop them up. That's the game plan. Yeah, so that's pretty much, I've just been crazy busy, which not in a bad way. I think I told you guys we got our tree up, and then 2 days ago, Nathan and I sat down to learn how to wrap gifts. Every boy I have ever met in my entire life, and I work at a police station, so I know a lot of men. None of these boys are comfortable or know how to wrap gifts. I don't understand that. It's not rocket science. Wrapping gift is not rocket science. Maybe it's just a skill they don't care to learn. I don't know. But my kid's going to learn it. He's going to know how to wrap gifts. You're welcome, future girlfriends. So we're back to the popping up part. I just trimmed it out and I went around it with the Tabomano. No, that's glue, Kelly. What? I went around it with the Memento Tuxedo black marker. And then I just popped them all up on foam. Here's where I went. This was my error, okay? So I popped them all up on foam, and before I did my sentiment. That was my fault. I should have waited to put the card together. So now I'm going to pop up my little panel over my card base using more foam tape. Because again, it is a really simple design. So just anything I can do to make it a little more interesting. I shouldn't have added the flower on top. I should have stamped my sentiment first. Because you run the risk of your block not touching completely down because of the foam parts that are raised up. So do as I say, don't do as I do, because this I should not have done. But it ended up working out for me. It was okay. I had thought about doing gold embossing on black, but because the sentiment was so large, it would have given me a very large black block at the bottom of the card, and I didn't want that. So I'm using my white gel pen to add some details into the center of the flowers. And then I'm also going to outline that sentiment so it doesn't get lost among the stems and it's easier to read. Some clear wink Stella on the flowers, and then that's pretty much the whole card. So the blog hop, I think you have 2 days to enter. If you head over to the blog, if you're on YouTube, there's prizes and stuff to win. Also, if you buy one of the new sets, they're giving away a free stamp set with that, either the primary or set E. And then that's the whole card. So I will catch you guys on the next video. Bye.